Big ass, how I get that ooh.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
What's goody, YouTube? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to yet another live reaction video. If you're new here for the first time, my name is TMR, and since you clicked on this video, you might as well subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave your comments down below, and enjoy this reaction video. What's good, YouTube? What's good, TMR gang? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to yet another live reaction video. I'm your girl, TMR. Thank y'all so much for stopping what you were doing and meet me on the damn break room, y'all. Oh boy. All right, y'all see the title, okay? Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good Monday morning to each and every one of you all. I hope everybody is feeling good and doing great. And based off the title, y'all, we're going to have a short conversation. We're not going to long. But one of my subscribers brought to my attention a learning that Jasmine did, I guess, yesterday, where she spoke on the most recent and occurring events in LA. Unless you've been under some type of rock somewhere, I'm pretty sure the vast majority of you all, if not all of you guys, have heard about the devastation in LA, about the LA fire victims, people losing their homes, masses amount of people losing their homes and their lives in the Pacific Palisades and in other cities around, in and around LA. And, you know, it was devastating to see the reactions of a lot of people, you know, celebrities and, you know, just regular folks like you and I who lost their homes. We know State Farm, a few months before this happened, middle part to the late part of last year, State Farm rolled out fire insurance for a lot of the residents in the LA area. And coincidentally, in the beginning of 2025, within the first week and a half of January of the new year, all this chaos erupts in California. And y'all know California is known for their wildfires and earthquakes and things of that nature. So MYJazzy Life did a live stream talking about laundry, and a question, I believe a question came up. I got to the part where I believe this is where the conversation started. So we're going to take a quick peek at what she was elaborating on. And I'm just going to say the ignorance of it all. You know, let me say this before we get started. You know, at the end of the day, stuff happens every day to people all across the globe, here in America and then in other countries, right? And although a lot of us may not be able to do anything monetarily or physically, but one thing you can always do is have empathy and sympathy for others, because just like it can happen to someone else, the same thing can happen to you, you know. MYJazzy Life having what I would say little to no empathy for people, obviously, that she does not know, having little to no empathy for people who are suffering, especially her as a mother. There were many mothers in LA that lost their homes, just nothing but rubble in the ground, and a lot of those women were mothers, you know. And so again, her channel being what it is, a single mom living on the internet, you would think, not only that, let me back it up a little bit. She herself could possibly have subscribers that live in those areas in California that were affected. She herself could have subscribers. Imagine going through what you're going through, and now, you know, it's already happened, right? So you're in the aftermath of it. And you pick up your phone one day and you say, you know what, let me get on YouTube. Let me let me get my mind off of what I'm going through. Let me just get on YouTube and kind of scroll the internet. And you're a subscriber of MYJazzy Life, and you see, oh, Jasmine went live. Okay, let me watch it and see what she got talking about. And then you hear a person that you're following, you support, even if you don't support her monetarily, but you have supported her by watching her videos, which obviously helps her, puts money in her pocket. And then you see her make a comment like this. It be the ignorance for me. It is sometimes things are better left unsaid. Sometimes just don't say anything. You know, if you don't really know what to say, just don't say anything. It's, you know, because some might say, well, why you didn't speak on this and why, you know, when the LA fires first happened a couple of days ago, you know, I didn't really have a lot because I was still watching a lot what was going on. I was trying to get more informed on what was going on. Obviously, you know, I was devastated by watching people lose what they worked for. You know, I've seen videos where people say that the houses they live, you know, right, they were born in those houses. They've been in the house, been in their family 70, 80 years, you know. It was this one story I seen a man ended up dying trying to save his house. His sister lived in the house with him. The sister was able to get out, but the man basically, you know, died in the house trying to save his home. And unfortunately, he lost his life behind that. You know, people are very passionate about the things that they own, right? You know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, a house, you can rebuild a house, right? It might take you a little longer, but you can definitely rebuild. What you can't get back is your life. You can't get back your life. But I can never tell anybody how I feel like they should handle a situation because I don't have anything invested in your home. So me saying, well, you know what? F that home. Your life is more important than the house. And, you know, theoretically, yes. However, you don't know what people have went through and what they're going through to keep staying in their homes and to watch your home literally crumble to the ground, and you can't do anything but sit and watch it just go up in flames. I couldn't even imagine being in that situation. Then you have somebody like this lady get on the internet and speak so ignorantly about a situation, yes, that has nothing to do with her. She's most definitely right. It has absolutely nothing to do with her. But it has to deal with human life. And aren't you a part of that? You know what's so funny is, to me, when Jasmine thought she lost her channel a couple months ago, she got on this internet and wanted people to cry and empathize with her about losing a YouTube channel. But yet, these people in California losing their houses, and she made comments like, I ain't getting no check for that. Got back within a week. We weren't getting a check for that either, but we sat and watched your videos and listened to you whine and cry and complain about it. It's selfishness and the ignorance of it all for me. Thank you, First Lady 07. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the break room. So, y'all, let's get into it real quick.
Fresh on the our house is smaller here, so I can't just hang them. Our house is too small here to do that. So I gotta fold a lot of. I gotta fold more than hang clothes. Laundry. That's what we're up to today. Ends. I got my closet today too, because that shit, I'm gonna try to. Lord Jesus. And thinking people are supposed to stop their lives because there's a fire 1,000 miles away from them. Hey, that's what I don't get. I'm supposed to stop. I'm supposed to just stop and be just pour through it and lose my house too, and not provide for my kids. That's crazy. That's wild. We ain't getting no check for that or nothing. Hey, Tasha.
This woman literally sat up there and said, so I'm supposed to feel some type of way because somebody lost their house 1,000 miles away from where I'm at? Yes, sis. You should. If you have any type of heart, but every time this lady moves, she feels her subscribers should support the things that she wants and needs to furnish her home. Every time, this is the same person just 1 month ago went down there to the blue Santa, pink Santa, purple Santa to ask for help for Christmas. Now, those people down there could have said, how many kids you got? 5. And how many fathers? 2. Oh, okay. Well, the baby daddies can't help you with Christmas. Yeah, they didn't say that to her. They took her application, and if she got approved, she got approved. That's it. That's all. Nicole said, coming from somebody from California, they told Jazz she shouldn't be live because of the fires. Fires aren't paying her bills. She didn't say anything wrong. She shouldn't be live because of the fires. Coming from somebody from California, they told Jazz she shouldn't be live because of the fires. Fires aren't paying her bills. She didn't say anything wrong. So here's the thing to your comment or to your statement, Nicole E. Right. If somebody came to my channel and said, you shouldn't be live because people are suffering, my response would be, yes, people are suffering. And I have empathized and I sympathize. I even have said a prayer, but at the end of the day, life still goes on for everybody else, right? It's the way you say things, right? It's the way you say things. It's the way you phrase things. And Jasmine could have just simply said, yes, I do understand that people are suffering. I mean, at the end of the day, all of us are experiencing some type of suffering, some more severe than others, but I still got to pay my bills just like everybody else does. I mean, think about it. When Hurricane Katrina and people were, experienced devastation behind Hurricane Katrina in Louisiana, right? Because the most devastation happened in New Orleans, right? There was devastation in other states, but the vast majority of it happened in New Orleans, right? But in all the other 49 states, or let's just say 47, because I think it affected Mississippi, some of Florida, some of Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. But what we do know is the majority of the 40 plus states still had to get up and go to work. They still had to, they still had to do what they had to do. Although people were watching what was developing with Hurricane Katrina on the news, on your cell phone, however you were watching it, we all were watching what was going on, what the media was playing to us. But even with us watching, we still had to go to work, still had to live our lives. Like, we understand that. Again, it's not saying that I have to stop living because somebody is suffering. Let's be honest, that I do not know. However, because I am human, right? And I will feel empathy and sympathy for people who are suffering. And if you want to say that, you can say that. But to say that, from what you state, I feel like making that comment was very insensitive, right? Because we understand that life can't stop because somebody, like she says, 1,000 miles away from me is suffering, right? Right. I got to still make my money. I have to still do what I do, but it's how you say it. It's how you phrase it that could have been a little more empathetic to her audience, in my opinion. Nikki said she didn't even have to say all that. She could have said, I hear what you're saying, and my prayers go out to them. they then carry on folding her clothes. She just selfish. Again, when you don't know how to talk to people, and let's be honest, y'all, Jasmine doesn't know how to talk to people. When you don't know how to talk to people, then you don't know how to say things to even sound remotely articulate. You see what I'm saying? Rico Chico said, we ain't getting a check for that. Well, majority of the poor who lost their homes won't get a check either. Karma comes around full circle. Jazz is definitely living in her karma. Well, you know what? Here's my thing with that statement, Rico Chico. I'm the type of person, I don't wish bad on anybody, right? I don't really get into the whole karma thing because I just feel like, you know, God will handle you. I ain't even got to speak on it because God gonna handle you. So I'm not saying that she's going to get her karma for that statement or she's not going to get her karma. I don't know what she's going to get. All I'm saying is, as a social media, some loosely or not, but essentially she's a social media influencer, right? So as a social media influencer and also being a person who has more than likely, it's a high probability, she could have one or two, maybe more than that, subscribers who follow her on social media who were affected by those fires, or maybe they have family members that were directly affected by the fire. So knowing that her channel is just not focused on people who live in Texas, like everybody who subscribed to her don't live in Texas. Like she got people across the globe that are following her on social media. So to me, I would have just phrased it a little different. Even if somebody in the comments would have said, "Oh, you on live and people suffering," and I would have said what I would have said. I would have said, "Yes, I do understand people are suffering, and although I am very empathetic and sympathetic to what is currently going on to people that obviously I'm not closely affiliated with. However, I still have to do what I have to do to take care of my family." That would have been the simple. All this, we ain't getting no check for that. To me, that was a very ignorant. Well, of course, you're not getting a check for it. Why would you get a check for it? You know, let's be honest. Some of the majority of the people who are affected are not going to get a check for it because I just told you, State Farm canceled a lot of the fire insurance on a lot of those policies. So a lot of people affected by those fires are not going to get a check either. Nina said her life is her karma. She a middle-aged mess, can't afford food or needs. She lets us think that she can't afford it. She can afford it because she's been affording it. She's been on this internet. One thing I can say about Jazz is she hasn't got evicted out of anywhere that I know of recently. I've been watching her. So whatever money she receives, she manages to manage that money she gets. Now, you know, I've said many times, y'all, a lot of times when she came on this internet begging for things, a lot of times I really felt like it was more of Jasmine not necessarily not needing the money, but it was more so of her trying to replace the money she's already spent, right? So like she's spending the money, but she's trying to get it back. To me, a lot of times her e-begging, it comes from that. I don't think it comes from I literally ain't got a dime. Like the $553 to pay her damn rent on January 2nd of 2024. Y'all remember that about a year ago? I don't think it's that she literally didn't have the money to pay. I think it's she paid it and she was just trying to get the money back. So they emptied those fire hydrants knowing darn well the chief was briefed. The chief was briefed on these weeks ago. Oh, the chief was briefed on that. Yeah, I heard about that. A lot of the fire hydrants didn't have any water in it because of the water shortage in the area. Yeah, it's very, like, it's wild what went on in LA. It was very, very wild to hear the stories and, you know, the conspiracy theories that people are coming up with of what could be the reasons, and they're still going on as we speak. Like stuff is still happening, still developing. Exactly. She uses her supporters to fund her life, basically, in my opinion, right? In my opinion. And I'm just gonna say, you know, when you live a life where you don't have a heart for people, not saying that you have to, carry the burdens of the world on your shoulders. I'm not saying that. But when you live a life where you feel like things can't happen to you, like, let's be honest, Jasmine is this house that she lives in this is a rental home. This is not her home, right? So let's say a fire breaks out in this house. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but things do happen. In the event that a fire breaks out in this home, Jasmine doesn't know even if the homeowner does have fire insurance on this home, if Jasmine doesn't have renter's insurance, their fire insurance protects their assets. It does nothing for her. So in the event that, God forbid, I'm not wishing this on her, I'm just speaking in general because things do happen, right? A fire breaks out and this house burns down. You don't think Jasmine would get on this internet expecting people to have empathy and sympathy for her? Although we're 1,000 miles away from her, right? Wouldn't you? She would want the same energy. Just like when her channel, they took her channel down and she thought she wasn't going to get it back. Jasmine was on this internet for a few days, crying and whining about her channel. And she really wanted to feel her pain. You said you didn't even know about renter's insurance when she was asked about it. My goodness. My goodness. That's a shame. You said the fire hydrants were not emptied. Then what were they? Because I did. The fire hydrants didn't have any water in them. The first she would do is get on here and beg. We said not our problem. Live too far. Good morning, sis. Right now, anything could happen. So it's just a clear indication that we the world that we live in, there are people who don't have a heart. And to the comment, yes, I understand her not like the person saying you shouldn't be like people in LA are experiencing devastation. Well, no, that's not true. I mean, again, I do empathize and sympathize with what's going on in LA, but I'm in Texas and I got a family, so I got to do what I got to do. You see what I'm saying? It's like state of California. That the fires happened in Southern California, but I guarantee you, everyone who lives in Northern California didn't stop what they were doing because of what was happening in the same state that they live in, but more further south. Yeah, can't like do what they got to do. Although they're neighbors at the southern or northern part of the state for them, or maybe it's a neighboring state, are going through some type of devastation. And like I said, you will empathize for them, but the reality is I still got to do what I got to do. I still got to go on with my daily living. So let me see what she said, because I didn't get a whole gist of this live, just a few minutes of what was sent to me.
Life goes on.
Hey, Trish, good morning. Good morning.
I swear, I'm not gonna be on that long. I gotta do this. I have so much laundry to do. I'll probably watch some TV or something. Get this shit done. I'm just so proud of myself. I already hit 10,000 steps before 12 o'clock.
Okay, well, nothing else is happening here. So just like, a few months ago, the people in Florida that was experiencing the hurricanes basically back to back, like I said, although that was happening in Florida, but people that are right now living in California going through their, natural disaster. Again, they heard about what was going on in Florida. They empathize and sympathize with the people that are being affected in Florida. But the reality is everybody still has to persevere on, right? That's the reality. You still got to live. So it's not to say that you don't feel bad about what people are going through. So like I said, Jasmine doesn't know how to talk. I've said this many times. She doesn't she's selfish. So she doesn't, in my opinion, at times she doesn't know how to express empathy and sympathy. When you have a selfish heart, you don't know how to express that, right? When you only think about you and what you want and don't even think about what's going on around you, it's going to be hard for you to empathize, like she stated, people that's 1,000 miles away. But all I'm saying is those same persons that are 1,000 miles away, not saying everybody that was affected is following her channel, but coincidentally, it could be 1 or 2 people that are subscribed to her channel that went through that, the LA fires. Or it could be somebody who subscribed to the channel, a family member that, that went through the situation. So it's a lot going on, but I just wanted to touch on that real quick because I just couldn't believe she said that as a mother herself. I just, I know she was commenting to the person in the comments, but she could have worded it different, That's just my opinion. You said, did I see wine glasses live stream? No, I haven't. But what we are going to talk about later this evening is Shamar. Y'all know we've been talking about Shamar a little bit. Shamar was in California this weekend. He had a show, and he came to the internet to speak his piece. And I definitely want to talk about it because the way he spoke on his him empathizing and sympathizing for the people in LA. I definitely want to talk on that. Let's see. Yeah, that's true, Ariana. That's exactly why. But she, like I said, Jasmine, she played a big part in that, if not the major part, in why her channel is not channeling like it used to. She doesn't really own anything or ever have, so she doesn't understand working hard for something and watching it get destroyed. Everybody don't beg for a living like her. Well, not just like her, like a lot of other people that, but you're right. When you're not used to having anything and you don't know what it is to own something, and you can't really feel what a person is feeling when you've never walked their shoes, But my thing is this: the contents of the things that are in her home, regardless if somebody bought it for her or not, she now is the owner of it. So like my statement I said earlier, in the event, God forbid, I'm not wishing this on her, but in the event that something happens to the house that she living in, if it catches a fire and burns down, are we not supposed to have empathy and sympathy for you because we're not getting a check for what you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, never had shit bad, never will. No, but Rico Chico, I didn't see wine glasses. Hey, Janae, I didn't see her live, but I'll check it out. But, sometimes, you just got to understand, y'all, everybody don't get it. Everybody, a lot of people just don't get it, and we can't make them get it. People have to live in their own ignorance, and I can't make Jasmine think and feel any different than she already does. I mean, these are her words that coming out of her mouth, and she can say what she wants to. I'm not her mama, so I'm not, but I just wish she would take more seriousness. I remember back in the day when these ladies trigger people, I remember Liv's Life when she would say things like when she did that video when she was pregnant with AJ. Some of you guys may or may not remember this, but when she was pregnant with AJ, she had did a video saying that he could have, I think it was Down syndrome. She made a video saying that he could have Down syndrome, and a lot of people were triggered behind that because she did that one video and never made any more mention of it again. Like she never elaborated on it. We didn't hear anything else about it. Now, granted, AJ is almost 3 years old, and she still never even went back to that initial conversation when she was pregnant with the boy, or at the time it was, a fetus in her belly. She never did elaborate on that, so let me get into here. Our family, our journey says she wants people to stop what they're doing to come help her when she gets on here crying about she's struggling. Exactly. And once again, Jasmine will get on here and hoop and holler about she can't pay her bills and things like that. The majority of us, if not all of us, don't live next door to her. I don't think none of us live next door to Jasmine. So if she wants people who are, thousands of miles away for her to feel some type of way about her current situation, again, why wouldn't you express the same empathy and sympathy for others. That's just all I'm saying. You know, even with her responding to the person in the comment, like I said, it could have been a different way that she could have phrased that, where it wouldn't have sounded as if I think what she was trying to do was get the person in the comments told off, and she ended up basically telling on herself. Okay, y'all. I just, you said Jasmine will always live an unblessed life. Well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate for her. One thing's for sure. I'm just going to try to live the best life, or the best life that I can live. If other people choose to go other ways, that's really on them. I just kind of wanted to bring that to you guys' attention this morning, because like I said, there's a lot of people that have been devastated behind losing their homes. There are people also who have lost their lives and their homes, like they've lost both. I saw this but I saw something on the internet the other day where a lady whose house was destroyed by the house fires, she went back to see if the one thing that she also cared about that she couldn't retrieve when she was trying to evacuate was her cat. And she went back and she found her cat. And although the cat was very scared, the cat was still alive. And I said, imagine that. She literally lost everything she owned, but the cat was still living. That kind of touched my heart, because if you guys don't know, I'm a cat mom. So I definitely, felt her on that, out of everything. She just wanted to make sure her cat was okay, because at that point, it was nothing she could do about the things in her home. A lot of the people that were evacuating, they couldn't even grab memorabilia. They couldn't grab anything. They barely could grab themselves to get out as fast as they could. And they did. Not only that, there were people who had to get out of their cars and evacuate from their cars, and fire trucks. They had to come and kind of bulldoze through all these cars just so they could get to the houses to try to extinguish them. Like, y'all, it's a lot going on in that area, and my heart truly goes out to everybody affected behind the LA fires. I mean, even the celebrities. I know some of y'all like celebrity, they got money. They get my heart still goes out to them, because regardless if you're a celebrity and you're rich and you could possibly rebuild, it's just a simple fact that something you worked hard for destroy with, like, just in a matter of moments, just destroy, and you literally sit there and watch your house burn to the ground, and there's nothing you can do about it. Not anything. And something that we all try to do is keep insurances on our homes and our cars, and you pay all these premiums all these years to keep this stuff intact, and then the one time you need it, maybe they're not there for you. And that's what angers me so bad about this whole insurance thing. Like, you pay all this money to protect your investment, be it your house, your car, or whatever else that you have insurance on. And then when it's time for you to pay up, or time for them to pay up, they always figure out a way where they ain't got to give you what you didn't put in. Okay. Janae Aku, you said this is her second time losing her home. Wow, her second time. Oh, I know she was affected. She had a house in the Pacific Palisades. I didn't know this was her second time. Oh my God, that's horrible. Maya says, I live in LA. He said, I live in LA. Jazz needs to hush. I'm around these fires and I'm still going to work. Jasmine, unlike you. Right, Maya. You say, yep, insurance, I always want to drop you. Yeah, exactly, honey. You could sneeze wrong, and they be like, well, you didn't tell us that you have problems with sneezing. We're gonna have to drop you. Yeah, they always, JB, always shortchanging. When I heard about that, I thought this was sickening to her. Yeah. All right, y'all. That's my time. Let me jump on off of here. I'm gonna come back this evening, you guys, because I want to talk about Shamar and his response to the LA fires, and see what he had to say. Because, honey, I watched a little bit of it, but I didn't watch all of it. But I wanted to watch it with you guys and do a live reaction on it. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all be good. Y'all be great. Y'all have a good day. And Tia Mars definitely gonna see you in the next one, honey. Jasmine, do better, sis. All right, y'all. Sub what you love. Bye.